319 lost leads turned into $49,000 of sales. Give us the leads you've given up on, and we'll use AI to turn them into sales. In 2025, it is possible to turn the leads you've given up on into cash in the bank, without hiring extra salespeople, paying appointment setting agencies, or dialing the leads yourself. Like this debt consolidation company, this is a sneak peek inside James's campaign. James owns a debt consolidation company, and every month he spends a pretty penny with Facebook and Google in exchange for new leads. James has a few sales guys and gals. If he's being honest, way more than he would like, but like most of us, he's been told, if you want more sales, you need more bums on seats. Problem is, most of the leads his team dial don't pick up. These people are used to dodging calls because they're used to being chased by their debt collectors. So, when an unfamiliar number dials their phone, they don't dare answer. For the first 48 hours, James's team calls these leads every hour. And still, out of the 1,000 leads they call, they're lucky if they speak to half. What happens to the other half? Usually, nothing. For James, that's around $25,000 he wastes each month on lost leads. So he agreed to a test. On day 3, instead of continuing with calls, he decided to send 319 of those dialed-to-death leads to our Sleeping Beauty sales android. By the way, we call it a Sleeping Beauty android because it wakes up dead leads. Here's what happened. Out of 319 old leads, which were fed in to our sales android, 120 responded, 87 qualified, 75 booked an appointment or got an instant call back, with 14 closed sales from just 319 leads that were just sat in the database already having been given up on, as the sales team had moved on to newer, fresher leads. With each sale worth between $3,000 to $4,000, that's around $49,000. That's enough to cover one of his employees' salaries for the whole year from a test batch of just 319 leads. There's easily 20 times that sat around in James's CRM, waiting to be worked. James is over the moon happy. In a single test, this AI bot has solved a problem he's battled against for 10 years or more. James can now reject the idea that the only way to make more sales is to buy more leads and put more bums on seats. He no longer has to make peace with a $25,000 loss each month because his leads won't answer the phone. Instead, he can hand over his lost leads to a Sleeping Beauty android and let it turn them into sales using SMS and AI. For the first time ever, James can bring more sales into his business at the same time as drastically reducing his overheads. So there's way more cash left over for him to spend, however he chooses. Why does AI plus SMS work so well then? Well, for one, people prefer SMS these days. They don't want to be blindsided by an unexpected phone call. You don't get that with AI plus SMS. This is an actual conversation between the Sleeping Beauty android and one of James's leads. The AI kicks off each conversation in a super personal way to ring a bell in the prospect's mind. To get that, "Oh, yeah, I remember now" response, which is why they text back. The next message is the humble disarm that brings down their "I'm too busy" defenses and opens up the conversation over SMS. What's said in these first two messages can and will change. The exact words don't matter. It's the behavior those words drive that's important. Next is the back and forth. The Sleeping Beauty android does a Q&A type session to qualify the prospect in a natural and friendly way. It validates the prospect each time, and also questions that get to the bottom of why the prospect even needs help to begin with. In some industries, this is super important. Then, the android starts to pre-frame the callback. Watch how the AI pushes for an instant callback, and when that's a no-go, It quickly switches tact and goes for the booked appointment. When the prospect gives a time, the android is smart enough to take that info and book the appointment directly into the diary. Notice that this prospect says she was working until 11 p.m., well after James's team clock off for the day. His team could have called her phone every 15 minutes and she still wouldn't have answered. Yet, she was happy, relieved even, to reply and chat via SMS. The android's final job is to get commitment to the call back. Most trained salespeople forget to do this, but the android doesn't. It knows by tying that call back to an actual real person, Ian, from this debt consolidation company's call center. As a result, the prospect naturally feels way more accountable and committed to turn up to the call. And guess what? Show rates are through the roof. So there you have it. That's a real-life example of how a Sleeping Beauty android takes dialed-to-death leads and turns them into sales. Now, the AI is going to get more juice out of a 3-day-old lead than a 3-year one, and the numbers in every industry will look a bit different. But so far, we haven't found an industry that a Sleeping Beauty android can't help. Take this one. A law firm that specializes in compensation claims. Kind of like personal injury, but not. The Sleeping Beauty android was given 467 leads. 3 of them asked for an instant callback, and another 93 of them booked appointments. Even if only a quarter of those appointments turned into sales, which is very low for this business, that's still 49 sales, pulled from what feels like thin air. Each sale is worth on average $2,000 to Simon's Biz. So that's $98,000 of cash that he wouldn't have had without the android's help. What about a home improvement business? These 96 leads were 12 months old, and still the android pulled 5 closed sales from them. These business owners have never seen anything like it. So let me ask you, how much gold is sitting in your database? How much can you save on staff overheads? If you'd like to find out, we're building Sleeping Beauty androids for a handful of lead-reliant businesses so they can make more sales, without spending more money on sales staff or working the leads themselves. We will build, fine-tune, and plug in this Sleeping Beauty android into these businesses. They won't have to lift a finger. We have blocked out time in our calendar to custom build these androids, but we're a small team, so we can't do it for everybody. If you'd like to be one of the 5, reach out to me at supporthostcookie.com with I'm in. Or click on the links at the top left of this video and they'll take you straight to our website so you can learn more and get in touch. If you're not sure about AI yet, that's okay. But be aware that businesses and marketers that are using AI right now may be so far ahead you'll never catch up in a few short months.